It's a Conspiracy is a proud member of the Alberta Podcast Network powered by the ATB. For a list of other fun programming, please check out the albertapodcastnetwork.com, where you can find shows like Let's Find Out.
Now, boom. Live on location.
The Chicken Surprise Adventure.
Welcome back, everyone, to It's a Conspiracy. This is the podcast where we lay out the beliefs behind select conspiracy theories, alternative accounts, legends, myths, and more. I'm your host, Andrew, and I do not claim to be an expert on anything we are going to discuss today. And this here is our Chicken Surprise Adventure. We're coming to you live from Northern Chicken in Edmonton, Alberta. And we couldn't be more egg-cited.
Hey, wait, I think you used that one before.
I know. I'm going for some cheap laughs here. Hey, thank you. Okay, I'll just stick to the script. I don't want to wing it. Hey. Okay, all right. No, I'll stop. Yeah,
the
that's
father
not good.
is
Okay.
strong.
I quit right now.
So they are awesome. They have beer, they have chicken, they have bourbon, they have the good times, and we are a proud member of the Alberta Podcast Network, powered by ATB. Joining me today are my good friends Charming Charlie, Joyful Jason, and Gorgeous Greg.
Hello.
And Greg's back from his book tour.
How was your trip?
Yeah,
It was great. I got a tan. I grew a beard.
nice.
Signed some books. I assassinated.
You were
some
activated, yeah?
If you're going to be in Bethlehem, you might as well grow a big beard, like big Old Testament beard. You know?
That's why I did it. Yeah. I was moved by the stories and the people.
And how was South Korea? That was the.
Well, apparently South Korea and North Korea sound the same when you don't know how to speak Korean.
Okay. If you would like to keep up to date with whatever we are up to here at It's a Conspiracy, then please check out our website. It's a Conspiracy Podcast, where you can find links to our Twitter, that's run by the Irish Madman, our Facebook group, the Instagram, that's run by Greg, emails, and our Patreon page, patreon.com/It's-a-Conspiracy. All right, now, Charlie, Greg, and Jason, with a firm yes or no, can you three tell me if you've heard of any of these theories?
Possibly.
Okay, number one, 10 fun facts about chicken wings.
Nope.
Yes.
Okay. Number two, the Chicken Surprise Adventure.
Hard yes.
Hard yes. Okay.
Yeah.
And is that a hard maybe from Jay?
No.
Is that a JB?
No.
We're gonna have a. It all will be revealed. We also have a Charlie Scream Monster of the Week coming up. Monster of the Week. And I can't wait for it. Yeah. Here we go. 10 fun facts about chicken wings.
Boom. Do it.
Ding.
Number one, the modern chicken wing is often claimed to be an American invention, but the absurdly titled chicken lollipop is an Indian Chinese appetizer that predates it by hundreds of years. It is there's a lot of vocabulary in here that I'm not really comfortable saying.
Just wing it.
It is a Frenched chicken winglet. Ugh. This means that the meat is pulled from the bone, the tendon is cut away, and it has this sounds disgusting, it has a meat lollipop look to it. So it's typically served with
Sounds
a
delightful.
Sounds delicious,
Szechuan
yeah.
sauce. Yeah, and I'll show you guys the picture.
Yeah.
It looks
Whoever
amazing.
was doing marketing for that, like, clearly lost the race
Yeah.
to the chicken wing. So
The good
Oh,
ship
absolutely,
meat
yeah.
lollipop.
they were like, we'll call it a
lollipop.
lollipop. Yeah. So
Those kids love it. I love candy.
Why
Love
not
a
just
good
call it
meat
what it
pop.
is?
And this is actually becoming a very popular variation at barbecue competitions across North America. So here you guys are. You can see a Frenched winglet meat lollipop.
Oh, yeah.
ooh.
Ta-da!
I used to be a chef, remember?
You've done this before. Yeah.
This
Okay, so
ain't
can
his
you walk
first
me through
rodeo.
this?
Yeah.
Like
Looks like they're wearing tinfoil.
yeah, they've got little tinfoil hats
Which
on
is
the bottom.
perfect for our
perfect for you.
podcast.
Yep.
So if I was going to do something like this, I snip the bottom, I pull out the tendon.
You just cut around like the bottom of the thing, and then you pull back the skin. Usually, what I like to do is I'll use like a really clean cloth, and you just kind of pull it back, and then you got a lollipop.
You guys yourself. So you've made this before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Did you call it a lollipop?
Yeah.
Did at any point were you like, we should call this something else?
No.
Like a meat sucker would be
It's
a better
not
name.
a wing. It's not a wing. It's a lollipop. And I didn't invent it.
You think meat sucker is better than meat lollipop?
It's
Well, those
I
are
mean,
legs, right?
you look
And
like
legs basically get called wings too when you
You
order
look like a
wings,
real
right?
meat sucker,
So-
you know?
And really, it's their arms, you know.
I don't know. Just meat lollipop. I guess meat sucker's not much better.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I could be saying this wrong too. This is number 2. Teresa Bellissimo. That's a great
Bellissimo.
name. It might be Teresa. I'm not sure. She created what we know as the buffalo wing in 1964 in Buffalo, New York. Now, the story is that she received a massive shipment of chicken wings by mistake. She'd ordered a bunch of necks for a recipe and decided to have, she was going to serve something that she often made at home for her kids. So she's like, I'll throw some hot sauce on it. We'll make some wings. That'll be great. And the item quickly became super popular, spread across the U.S., Canada, and the rest of the world really quickly. And the tradition is that it is unbreaded, spicy, and served with carrots, celery, and blue cheese dressing. Yeah.
Blue cheese.
Blue cheese or GTFO, man.
Yeah, man. Yep.
Absolutely.
Ride or die.
Jason, you might not know that these two, they ride together and die together. That's
Okay.
their,
That's it.
yeah,
That's our thing.
That's their...
Blue cheese for life.
Ooh, I don't know if I'm on that
That's why
train.
they call us
not
the
a blue cheese
They
fan.
call us the Blue Cheese Boys.
Yeah, that's what they call you guys.
BCBs.
The world record for eating hot wings, this is number 3, is held by Patrick Bertoletti, who ate, this is unreal, 444 in 26 minutes. His competition that night was, or the previous record holder, was a lady named Molly Schuler, who ate 440 in 26 minutes.
Good God.
So
Okay,
sickening.
now,
yeah,
what
Who
size are
decided-
these wings? Are they regulation size? Like, what's a regulation size wing?
that's a good question.
Like-
a regulation wing.
Let's say like 11 to 12 wings per pound.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I guess so. That makes about sense. That's
So
so many.
444 divided by 11.
Even if you're thinking of the smallest,
780.
Yeah.
even when you imagine the smallest possible wings, that
still
is
so
a
many.
boatload of wings.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
and all that hot
somehow.
sauce.
Also,
Can you imagine
who
what that would do on
decided
the way out?
26 minutes was the best time to judge this?
I was wondering about that too. 26 minutes seems odd.
I feel
doesn't
like
it?
the first person did it, got to 26 minutes and that number, and they were tapped out.
Okay.
Or
They're
died.
like, that's what you have to beat.
Yeah.
Easy.
I feel like that's the amount of money or the amount of food you could fool your body into thinking before it tells you, "Oh God, no more."
Yeah,
no
we're
more.
shutting
and then
down.
it's
26
just
minutes
shutting
to
down.
get it all
Yeah. Pretty much.
And then we're closing shop. Yeah. Number 4, ranch is the most popular dipping sauce, according to an American survey in 2013. I'm glad to hear you say that. This is something we're on the same page. I personally can't handle ranch. I had a roommate in university, and his shoes smelled like Cool Ranch Doritos, and it's ruined me for life. So it's... Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's funny because I the only thing I like ranch dressing with are wings.
Oh.
So it's literally like I don't like it on salad or anything else. But
So basically, what you're saying is he wore empty bags of Doritos for shoes?
That's what it smelled like. Yeah. Yeah. I know. It's terrible. Buffalo. So number 5, buffalo are indigenous to parts of Asia and Africa, and the large animal commonly mislabeled as buffalo is actually the bison.
Bison?
The bison. Yeah. So yeah, and there's no buffalo.
Buffalo,
parts in
buffalo.
That's right.
Buffalo.
Beefalo.
Beefalo. Oh, that's got to be a thing too, right? Beefalo, like a hybrid.
Yeah.
It is a thing.
I don't know.
Oh man,
I think so.
it should be a thing.
You said it with confidence. I believed you.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
That buffalo thing, is that like 7 sentences or
That's
something?
that's
Or a sentence?
a sentence where the only word is buffalo.
Yeah.
Buffalo, 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 buffalo.
But you gotta say like
buffalo,
5
buffalo.
or 6 times.
Because it means to. It's an American thing where it means to like pick on people or something.
It means 7 different things.
Yeah.
like a buffalo from Buffalo picking on a.
Yeah, something like that.
Buffalo.
Yeah.
Okay,
did
said
so
Bud
much
Light too,
research.
hilarious. Next.
So number 6, buffalo wings or hot wings or just wings were instantly tied to sports when they were heavily featured in Super Bowl ads during the Buffalo Bills run of playoffs in the 90s. This aspect was immediately tied to a number of other sports in other countries and really stuck it big in Canada, where sales spiked by the thousands during hockey games. So it's like this starts to challenge like the beer market during hockey games is hot wings. So Greg, you've worked in a lot of kitchens.
Yeah.
Is this true?
Oh, yeah.
people
It's
just
because
go-
during hockey games, that's when you're like, hey, half-price wings.
Get them all.
Yeah.
Get them.
The Super Bowl was the first time they were like, let's tie in this hot wings with like watching a game. So
Oh,
yeah,
I've cooked a disgusting amount of chicken wings in my life.
man.
Not proud of it.
I was young and needed the
But it had to be done. It had to be done.
They're not going to cook themselves, are they? Number 7, the 10 most popular flavors for chicken wings are barbecue. That's a boo from me. Hot, which isn't necessarily buffalo. Buffalo. And then teriyaki. That's another gross. You guys
What?
teriyaki people?
What is that
What
gross?
flavors do you like?
Oh, I just like the buffalo ones myself. but-
Sriracha, honey, garlic.
Oh, damn.
So honey mustard is another one on there.
That's good.
And plain. I like plain personally. Do you
Plain are
guys like
good.
plain?
I like plain.
Plain?
That just means I can...
Vanilla Andy.
I know. And then spicy garlic. And then this is hilarious: medium, mild, and lemon pepper.
Lemon pepper makes sense.
Yeah.
I remember my first lemon pepper wing.
Yeah.
Change your life.
My favorite wing is missing on there.
Well, okay, so the newcomers include salted caramel, maple habanero, root beer barbecue, and dill pickle.
That's the one, right?
Dill pickle's
there.
amazing.
Dill pickle
Pickle
wing?
wing.
Super good.
Yeah.
They sound dangerous, but
Yeah.
possibly delicious.
Oh, man. And then there's people that do like gross things, like they'll be like, I want teriyaki honey mustard. And you're like, no, you don't. Like,
With a little dill on the
yeah.
side, yeah.
Like that's
Splash of dill.
that's the equivalent
Caramel
of, like,
in there as well.
That's the equivalent of like the fountain soda thing where you're like, I'm gonna have a little bit of everything and make my
But
own.
make swamp water.
Yeah, it's never good. Number 8, boneless chicken wings are often chicken nuggets or chicken thighs.
Boneless chicken wings defeat the purpose of chicken wings.
Yeah, you're not a fan, right?
Good point. Good point.
Are you a fan of nugs in general? Like, do you like nugs?
Fat nugs.
Dank nugs?
Like,
dank
you
nugs?
like dem nugs?
I like dank nugs.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, man.
Dank chicky nuggies?
I respect a nugget.
Yeah.
I respect it.
But yeah, no. If I'm gonna have a nugget, I want to have a nugget. I don't want to have a,
You don't want a tender?
Well, no, I don't want to. Don't call it a boneless chicken wing. That's
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But hot nuggets, that doesn't sound good either.
Hot nuggets.
Yeah.
Put these hot nuggets in your mouth.
Number 9, the popularity of chicken wings has given risen to the belief that there are genetically modified mutant chickens that have 4 to 10 sets of wings and no feathers. This makes it easier for big companies to really cash in on the wing craze. There is a similar theory about multi-legged mutant chickens and multi-breasted mutant chickens.
love it.
Yeah.
Chickens.
And that's what the whole, because they're like, you can't call it. And
We
it's,
should probably bleep that out. Just
Yeah.
Wasn't there a South Park episode based on a guy on the genetic scientist making a chicken with 8 butts, and he was trying to get it with like 9 butts or 10 butts? Does that ring a bell?
8 butts isn't enough.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe
we
that's
are.
what it was based on. Yeah.
And that whole thing, because there was one that was like, I think Patton Oswalt got in trouble because he had a joke about a chicken that escaped from like a facility somewhere and like killed a bunch of people, and then like sent him
It actually happened?
a cease and desist letter. They're like, stop talking about
Stop
that.
saying the name.
Oh, sorry, the other guys. We'll bleep all that out.
Or if they want to throw us a little bit of support, that'd be great too.
Yeah, hook us up, big chicken. I'm down.
Chicken. I eat it.
I'm still waiting for my paycheck from them on my music video.
That's right.
man.
They owe you a couple of bucks.
We will link that in the description. That is a work
They
of
owe you a
art.
couple of clucks.
That's why.
Wait, is this a real thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you
I
have
made,
to
a,
see it.
I
It's
made a
amazing.
music video about chicken, and
Yeah.
I'll show you after it.
Oh,
You can
I'm
see it
so
in the
into
link.
this.
So-
Yep.
Awesome. This guy.
A work of art.
Yeah.
The burn that we feel from hot. This is number 10. The burn that we feel from hot sauces is our friend capsaicin. Is that how I say that?
Capsation.
Capsaicin.
It
Capsaicin.
sounds hot when you say it like that.
That's amazing. Is that how you pronounce this? Sorry, capsaicin.
Capsation.
capsaicin.
I've been pronouncing it wrong for a long time.
Have you been saying it? Capsicum?
Capucin
Caps-
or something.
Capsicum.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but what a nice capsaicin.
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 Didn't you guys go to school? Didn't you learn how to read?
Oh, yeah.
Not chicken school.
I think that's fair. I did. So.
Although I would.
The spice reacts with the VR1 receptors in your mouse.
Yeah, VR1 behind
And,
music.
and allegedly, this is Mother Nature's way of letting you know you're eating something that you shouldn't be. So it's like,
Hot water burns baby.
yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a thing that I've talked to my wife, for example. She's like, I don't know what it is with guys and like eating things that tear your face off with heat. And I'm like, I don't know what it is either, but it's really fun and it's it's odd.
It's real fun and
Yeah.
bonding.
Yeah. So the reaction to this is entirely subjective, as we'll soon find out. But there are 4 remedies typically that will work, and one here that will not. So in dairy, the casein in dairy binds with the same receptors that get the capsaicin and apparently block the pain that our mouths feel. If only they could block the pain of our hearts. Sugar or honey, the oil-based capsaicin is absorbed by the sugars and prevented from binding with your receptors. So Matt, the owner of Northern Chicken, he was saying that he likes to put a little bit of simple sugar into his water, and that'll...
Simple syrup.
Or simple syrup, yeah. Simple syrup. That's the secret. Secret simple syrup.
Secret simple syrup.
Bread, rice, or starch. The natural breakdown of starches in your mouth create a coating against the pain receptors in your face. So that's how that works.
Nope.
Yeah. No, that doesn't work out. Yeah, people are like, no, this works, but...
No, that's bullshit.
Yeah. Tomatoes or lemons. The acidity of tomatoes or lemons provides a neutralizing effect on the alkaline properties of capsaicin. This is why people with mouth ulcers are recommended to gargle with a mix of lemon and tomato juice. Just people with mouth ulcers? Can I have some too? So what won't work is surprisingly water. Capsaicin is an oil-based spice that will not rinse away with water. In fact, the droplets agitating the membranes in your mouth will most likely be agitated by the water further and spread to other areas of your mouth, nose, throat, and eyes. So,
I can feel it in my eyes.
Yeah, if you can feel it in your eyes. And that's a quick, friendly reminder that when we're eating these things,
Always wash your hands.
Wash your hands.
No eye touching.
Yeah, and
Safety goggles.
No nothing touching.
no nothing touching,
no,
Charlie.
no.
You're going to have to take about an hour off of touching anything here.
Well, I'll give you. It's going to do a round of high fives under the table, right?
I'll resist the urge to masturbate immediately after eating tons of hot food.
So I guess I was going to ask you guys here. So Greg, what's going to be your method for this challenge here for heat relief?
Really? Oh, I go classic. I'm a milk guy.
Milk guy, okay? You monster.
Milk and water.
Okay, Charles.
Okay,
Chuckles.
well, I'm interested in this whole simple syrup deal.
That's what I'm going for.
Yeah, well, yeah, you can't do the milk thing.
I was gonna do I was gonna do lemon, but Matt was saying simple syrup, so I'm like,
I'll try the simple syrup.
Yeah, okay,
Oh, wait,
cool.
or how many different ones did you say?
there's dairy, there's also tomatoes, and there's bread, rice, and starch. So you can get yourself a big loaf of bread if you'd like.
So
Do we have all those options here? Or
No, I think what they could do is they could put some starch in some water, and you get a little slurry.
so I don't know.
do 2 milks and 2 simple syrups.
2 milks and 2 simple syrups. Yeah.
all right.
No
Okay.
yogurt, but there's yogurt.
Yogurt.
We have some friends at the table next to us. I can feel the heat waving off of them, so I'm already ready to like tap out and be like, "Oh, guys, I'm done."
No, we're
But,
taking it to the limit.
I'm
We're going
gonna
all the
try.
way.
I'm trying.
Everybody to
I'm
the
going
limit.
all the way.
Hell
Yeah.
All right.
All right then. So what are we? I guess Charlie, what are we drinking here?
What are we drinking?
Simple
We're
pleasure.
drinking Simple Pleasures, he said while he picked up his phone and went to the browser window. Simple Pleasures.
He repeated.
English mild.
It's an ironic
you
name.
can tell he just came off of a book
That's
tour.
right, yeah, Mr. Snappy Wit over here.
English Mild Ale is a throwback to a more simple time where people knew who they voted for and why, saw work as a wage rather than a lifestyle, and who chose their beer like they supported their sports team, because it was what you did and it wasn't worth fussing over. Simple Pleasures is what we drink to take life back a notch or two. There's a ton of flavor and aroma for such a light beer, 3.8%, with notes of light chocolate, nuts, caramel, light roast, and raisin, and plum fruit. It's a delightful shade of mahogany that makes you feel as though you're drinking a proper pint. No pretension, no sensory assault, no gimmicks, just a refreshing, flavorful, malt-accented beer that is readily suited to drinking in quantity.
Oh my!
That's Simple Pleasures.
At 3.8%.
That had like okay
quite tasty.
boomer
I
written
haven't
all
tried
over it.
I'm pretty proud of that take.
Yeah,
that was a good take.
That was a good one. That was really good.
It's
Yeah, I could probably crush like 10 of these.
No kidding.
Well, 3.8%.
It's going down easy.
Yeah.
It is the English dark mild ale. I think ale have another one.
Hey.
It's a fitting name for the extreme pain and unpleasure we'll be feeling during the.
That's right. We like to balance things out, you know.
That's right.
A little of this, little of that.
Little simple pleasure with
Simple, plain,
extreme anger.
Yeah. Some complicated agony later.
Complicated Agonies, their other brand. Yeah, I love this can too. Like not to vary too far, but like once again,
Totally simple.
just a
Nice
banging
and easy.
can.
Nice and easy.
And the
Simple.
cabin logo, killer.
Pleasurable.
Anywho, so that's going to take us to, that's going to take us to an ad spot. So here's a quick word from our sponsors.
ATBalphabeta.com. Looking for an environment where you can have a safe space to learn, experience, and discuss all things innovation with like-minded individuals? Head over to the ATB Transformation Meetup page, where you can find events focused on the latest trends in technology. Plus, ATB is always on the lookout for passionate tech talent to deliver happiness to Albertans. Join the movement at meetup.com/ATB-transformation.
And here's Charlie Scream with his Monster of the Week.
Charlie Scream's Monster of the Week.
I'm excited.
It's no secret that I was and continue to be a big fan of the X-Files.
Likewise.
So I wanted to bring a little bit of that to this here podcast. In the X-Files mythos, a Monster of the Week episode was a one-and-done standalone episode that deals with some type of supernatural or paranormal creature, or sometimes a simple criminal with a unique gift. So I now present to you the Monster of the Week. And this week, chicken-themed, we're talking about my old pal, Mike the Headless Chicken, a.k.a. Miracle Mike.
Yes.
September 10th, 1945, farmer Lloyd Olson of Fruita, Colorado, was planning to eat supper with his mother-in-law and was sent out to the yard by his wife to bring back a chicken. Olson chose an old cockerel named Mike. The axe removed the bulk of the head, but missed the jugular vein, leaving one ear and most of the brainstem intact.
Good Lord.
Due to Olson's failed attempt to behead Mike, the chicken was still able to balance on a perch and walk clumsily. He attempted to preen, peck for food, and crow, though he with limited success. His crowing consisted of a gurgling sound made in his throat.
So the chicken was still alive.
After the beheading.
Most of its head.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. When Olson found Mike the morning after the botched beheading, sleeping with his head under his wing, he decided that if Mike had so much of a will to live, he'd figure out a way to feed and water him. He fed him with a mixture of milk and water via an eyedropper and gave it small grains of corn and worms. Obviously, most people would be like, that's a hoax, right?
No, it's real.
But
Tis a hoax.
a week into Mike's new life, Olson packed him up and took him 250 miles to the University of Utah in Salt Lake City. The skeptical scientists were eager to answer all the questions regarding Mike's amazing ability to survive with no head. It was determined that an axe blade just missed the jugular vein, and the blood clot had prevented Mike from bleeding out. Although most of his head was in a jar, most of his brainstem and one ear was left on the body. Since most of a chicken's reflex actions are controlled by the brainstem, Mike was able to remain quite healthy, which leads to Mike's rise to fame. Once his fame had been established, the undead theropod began a career of touring sideshows in the company of such other creatures as Two-Headed Calf. He was also photographed for dozens of magazines and papers, featured in Time and Life magazines. Mike was on display to the public for an admission cost of 25 cents, and at the height of his popularity, the chicken was earning $4,500 USD per month. And that's way back when. So even in 2010 dollars, that's $48,000.
$48,000 a month.
That's right. That chicken pulls in more than I do in a year.
Yeah.
In a month, he used to. And Olson's success resulted in a wave of copycat chicken beheading, but no other chicken was able to live for more than a day or two. So he had the special touch. Sadly, Mike passed away after 18 months as a headless wonder chicken. While returning from a road trip, the Olsons stopped in at a motel in the Arizona desert. In the middle of the night, Mike began to choke. Unable to find the eyedropper used to clear Mike's open esophagus, Miracle Mike passed on. But he left one hell of a legacy. Mike the Headless Chicken is now an institution in Fruita, Colorado, with an annual Mike the Headless Chicken Day, the third weekend of May, starting in 1999. Events held include the 5K Run Like a Headless Chicken race, egg toss, pin the head on the chicken, the chicken cook-off, and chicken bingo, in which chicken droppings on a numbered grid choose the numbers.
Oh, okay.
Oh, man.
Mike the Headless Chicken was an inspiration for the poultry-themed comedy punk band The Radioactive Chickenheads, serving as the subject of their 2008 song Headless Mike, for which a music video was filmed. I wonder how close it is to yours.
Oh, wow,
I'll have
lovely.
to check it out.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
That is amazing.
Mike the Headless Chicken.
There's a Hallmark
Cheers
movie
to
in
you.
there somewhere
This is a beautiful
with the
thing.
with the two-headed calf and the no-headed chicken somehow bonding together over
Right.
their not normal
It's like
number of heads.
It's like like
Yeah, but there was a normal number when they were together.
When they were together. Yeah.
But together they were two heads.
it's like the movie Homeward Bound.
I'll have the head for you.
You can always have mine.
It's really like the movie Homeward Bound, but with two sideshow animals.
Yeah, pretty much.
Man,
Also, the clucking competition, like that. Like, what kind of clucking are we doing? Are we trying to do our own like actual chickens, or
You're trying to sound like
Mike
Mike.
the Chicken?
Is it more of an esophagus gurgle?
an eyedropper and brainstem. Yeah.
So
thing.
the reason why I was read up on it more, and the reason that he died was because these owners had haphazardly left their eyedropper at the last sideshow, so that's why they couldn't find it. So that's a tragic death. Why wouldn't they have more of those? Why wouldn't they have all of
I
those?
think it's
Why
called-
did they just have
I
one?
think it's called murder.
Yeah. Oh my! Are you accusing someone of murdering a chicken?
Why would they fry their golden egg as such?
Why not?
Man.
Why not?
I gotta ask about the X-Files, and I know we try not to get our opinions into this too much, but are you a fan of when the T-1000 was on the X-Files?
More of the early stuff. The early years are the glory years for sure.
Oh yeah.
And then even some of the redo, the 2 seasons that they put out a couple years ago. There was some gold in those hills.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't.
I'll have to take your word for it. I never saw it.
Yeah, I didn't see it either.
I was ready for it when it happened. I was like, let's do this.
primed.
Friday nights, I was back in front of the TV.
Take me
Yep.
now.
Get it in.
I'm ready to
Hook
do
me
it.
up.
Hi, my name's Kyle Marshall, and I'm the host of Putting It Together, a show that's part of the Alberta Podcast Network powered by ATB. It's a show that's going through Stephen Sondheim's entire body of work, show by show and song by song. Now, if you don't know who Stephen Sondheim is, that's understandable. Not everyone is a super fan like me, but you might know him from this,
I feel pretty.
or this,
Send in the clowns.
or this.
Attend the tale of Sweeney Todd.
I would go so far as to label him the Shakespeare of our time. Each episode, I invite on a guest and we discuss the lyrics of the song, the interpretations it's had, and how it affects us as people. It's more than just a show about the music. So come along, every Wednesday a new episode is released. I can't promise you'll feel pretty afterwards, but you will be entertained.
Okay, and we are back, and we are going to do our chicken surprise
Take me to the
adventure.
river.
This, I'm a little reticent to point this out, but I feel like I'm in a.
Well, put your big boy pants
yeah,
on.
I'm
and
gonna
get
get
ready for it.
on. But I mean, I have a delicate system. Like I'm, you guys are all like.
Oh, we're
like-
about to mess that up for you.
Yeah, I know. You guys are like
Tomorrow's gonna hurt for
in your
everybody.
prime. Yeah, and I'm like, oh, I'm far from my
No,
prime,
okay,
but
look,
I'm like,
look.
Yeah.
I don't have a messed up crazy system or anything like that. I just mentally prepared.
you mentally prepared
Yeah.
yourself. Okay.
I went into my my fortress of solitude, and I did a good hour. Of
Okay, you don't
just
need to
like-
tell us about what you did in there. Yeah, I get. Okay,
Just like a
all
good
right,
hour.
okay. Again, we said we were taking a couple minutes away.
Hey,
From
well,
that
you
stuff,
said don't
yeah.
touch it after.
Yeah. So in preparation, aside from whatever Charlie did on Charlie time, which is fine, and he's only feeding himself. Thank
It's in
God
my
for that.
fortress
He's
of
not gonna-
solitude.
Handshakes under the table.
So what we're gonna do here is basically we're gonna be walked through a 5-course meal. Meal is
not
we're-
really a meal.
5-course sample of escalating heat. Courtesy
We're gonna
of,
eat it up.
of Matt and the good people at Northern Chicken here. So let's get this set up, and then we will walk you guys through this here.
We'll be right back.
Northern Chicken, craft beer, bourbon, and hot chicken. Come down and try out one of Alberta's best beer lists, all the while eating Edmonton's hottest chicken. Try one of our scratch-made hot sauces and fantastic sides.
So you guys from scratch restaurant,
Yeah.
got a great beer list, got a great bourbon list.
Yeah, we got the number 3 beer list in Alberta 2 years ago.
Yeah.
We didn't place this year, unfortunately, but that's not such a bad thing because I know 10 or 11 restaurants that have great beer lists now.
Right.
It's nice to see everybody sort of jumping on the Alberta craft train.
It's
and
good to
supporting.
go to a place. Just it's not just shit beer. It's not just what
Typical stuff.
Yeah.
It's not just Molson inducement driven
Yeah,
beer.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well,
It's
like
cool to go and find all these other breweries, like local stuff.
Yeah, like there's 100. I think it's 107 breweries operating in Alberta right now.
Nice.
We grow the best barley in the world, so it's just logical that we
Easy.
should have the best beer, or
Right.
at least very good beer. We have great water, we have great barley. So
Put them
the
together,
three things
yeah.
that you want to make great beer are right in the province. So
Amazing.
How long have you been open for?
it was 3 years on November 4th.
3 years and November 4th.
They just celebrated their
yeah,
birthday.
congratulations.
Thanks.
That's amazing. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a real fun journey. We definitely didn't know what we were getting into and what it was gonna be, but it's been a lot of fun.
Awesome.
It seems to be a brand that people really, something about it really resonates with people, whether it's the music or the attitude or just the food and the booze. But we've been super blessed with hiring a bunch of really great staff.
Good crew.
And we really try to let them just be themselves. So we don't dictate how they're going to dress or what they're going to do, or we want them to just be them. And,
They're doing their
fun.
thing, being comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it produces an inclusive space. And we definitely tried to make ourselves a community-driven restaurant. And it's really paid off for us.
Awesome.
Excellent.
I love it, man. Well, all the best, and thanks again for having us.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys coming down.
Well, actually, Matt, do you want to walk us through what we have here? You're a little more qualified to talk about this.
So we have 5 chicken nuggets in front of you. The first one is just our original salt and pepper, our classic seasoning. Not a lot of spice there. Feels pretty good.
There you go.
Shouldn't be that that hot. The next one is our house-made cayenne table sauce, which is on every table. It's cayenne grown in Lacombe and then fermented for 6 weeks. So a little bit of heat, but nothing that grows in Alberta is very hot. So
Better than ketchup.
I love it.
Damn good. Better than ketchup.
The one after that is the Thaddeus Archer III Humanoid Hot Sauce, which is a signature hot sauce we made for a hot challenge that we do here once a month with a group of wrestlers.
Decent.
So some lime flavor to that, a little bit of cumin, ghost peppers, and habaneros with some cayenne. After that is a very clean fermented habanero. So the same process that we use for the cayenne sauce, another 6 weeks in a barrel with salt, and then just very clean habanero and apple cider vinegar. And then the last one is the We're Not Fucking Around, which is on our menu, which is Carolina Reapers, Apocalypse, Ghost Peppers, and Scorpions. And then in front of you in the middle, should you choose to do it, is the new hot sauce I made just for you guys tonight.
Oh, hell yeah.
Called The Grinch.
Oh, man.
It's Poblanos, Apocalypse, pure capsaicin, and a little bit of Reaper just to make it nice.
So the thing is, he said he made it for us tonight. So
we
we
have to
would
try it.
be remiss to miss
We have
that.
to do this.
It definitely looks like more different than all the others combined. Everything else has a reddish sort of look, and this is the Grinch is green and nasty.
That Grinch is green.
It's hard to explain, too. The heat coming off of this is just coming off in waves. Like, you can feel it at the table.
You can
Just
see like that cartoon green. Yeah.
Even just the smell of washing the
Wafting
bowl
off
back
of
there
it.
after I did it was bad.
Boom.
Well, here we are. So we're going to start with our salt and pepper.
A number 1, salt and pepper.
Oh, and I'm
Easy
excited.
peasy. A classic delight.
That is
This is a
phenomenal.
great place to start.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, stupendous. Do you do braised chicken? Is that your... Not to give anyone any corporate secrets, but...
It's buttermilk soaked for about 18 hours, and then breaded in our signature seasoning and flour, and then we let it sit. That's the big difference between us and lots of places. We let it sit in that batter for about an hour and a half before we fry it. And then we fry at a really low temperature, where most people fry at like 375 or 400. We fry at just above 300. So you render out a lot of the fat from the skin, and you still get a really moist piece of chicken that doesn't dry out.
So good.
Oh, I'd eat that all day.
I do.
I'm afraid of where this is going to take us.
Are we getting into number 2?
Number 2.
So the cayenne table sauce. This one shouldn't be super hot, just a little bit of a bite to it.
So good.
Just a real sort of easy, mellow way to get people into hot sauce.
Jay, what's your thoughts on that? Is that feeling pretty good?
Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm also making a conscious effort not to like touch it on my lips too, so I know it's gonna burn. It's helpful with the fork now.
That is good.
Using our fingers, we can do this. That's good. That's a nice little spice to it.
I get told all the time that we're not supposed to eat on podcasts or drink or
What do they know?
burp or
Or talk about conspiracies.
or talk about it. Yeah. Yeah. Is that one of your homemade hot sauces?
Yeah, we do everything in house except for the bread, and obviously the Doritos. Like we tried to fake our own Doritos, but you just can't.
I hate to be that guy, but I'm feeling the heat a little bit.
Are you kidding me?
So I have a glass of water and I have a little bit of simple syrup in it. So that's Matt's recommendation for heat relief.
I'm gonna save it for number 4.
I'm gonna save it for when we get hurt. Yeah.
Wait, where are we? Number 3?
3.
Number 3.
So this one we do something very similar to what you guys are doing here, except they bring in a local celebrity to put on the hot seat. It's a direct ripoff of Hot Ones, but Thaddeus Archer is a local wrestling sort of hype man who works for PWA and a couple other ones, and he brings in. We've had Ryan Ford, the boxer, Wolf and the Willow, the band.
Oh yeah.
Lisa Baker, who's a real awesome comedian.
I dig it.
We're going to get back into it in January with
This one's
hopefully
great.
some pretty good ones. So this is a signature sauce that he asked me to make, and he sells at some wrestling events. So some heat to it with the habanero and the ghost pepper, but I like the lime and the cumin in there to sort of balance it out a little bit.
I'm a big wrestling mark, so I love the connection between the fried chicken and the wrestling. But also, you have a T-shirt up front.
Yeah,
That's an NWO ripoff, which I love.
Yeah, they're not fucking around.
Yeah. I might have to get myself one if I complete the challenge.
That was good. I felt the gap between 2 and 3 wasn't too much spicier. So
That was
Still standing.
an escalation. That's amazing. We're getting there. We're approaching
How you feeling, buddy?
DEF
You getting a little, Andrew?
CON 3.
You getting a little sweaty?
Yeah. I'm always in a state of sweatiness, to be honest. Number 4.
Sauce is number 2, except this is with habaneros instead of cayenne.
Habaneros.
So you're going to get a little bit more of a fruity flavor from the habanero, and then about 100 times the heat.
What is the unit of heat?
Scovilles. And that's actually the amount of sugar that a taster needs to have to eliminate the flavor in their mouth.
Okay.
That's where it came from. So original Scoville testing was done just by a group of testers that would be like, this is when I can't taste it anymore. So it's not a very accurate unit of measurement.
That's subjective, right? It's
Yeah.
sort of- yeah.
So now they've actually got it down to a science, and you can test
my.
stuff properly. But it's prohibitively expensive for a place like us. It's like $1,200 a sample. So I can just sort of make some rough guesses based on what I know peppers are naturally sort of at, and then you go from there.
It's starting to come in right now. Yeah. The cheek sweats have started. That's delicious, though. Oh, man.
Now, Andrew, you said you poured a little bit of the simple syrup into your drink, or the whole shot?
No, just a bit.
You may want to
can
save
feel
the
the heat
shot
on that.
for
Oh, I'm going to say for the majority of it.
swishing after the next two.
So we've got
yeah, I'm gonna save it. Ooh, I'm
Greg and Jay are on dairy.
And then your last one. And then your last one.
That's intense. That's delicious, though.
You're still-
No.
You feeling that one?
Oh, yeah.
Give it a second.
Yep.
So that would be
stings the nostrils.
that would be roughly about 500,000 Scovilles.
500,000 Scovilles.
Yeah. And then the next one you guys are about to do will be about 1.7 million.
Oh, where?
Oh, Jesus.
Somewhere around there. Could be a little less, obviously, depending on the peppers, but Reapers usually come in around 2 million, and then we've put in some stuff that's around 1.3, 1.4 million, so
All right, cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
it's going to be less.
Nice little chicken cheers.
Chicken cheers. For the end.
You guys got to catch up.
Oh, he's gone.
Oh my. Oh my. Oh my.
And that's about the hottest you're going to get naturally without using extracts or pure capsaicin crystals or anything like that.
Hard to put into words. Ha. Ha. Just gonna grab some paper towel here. Is it normal for my nose to run when I'm eating this hot stuff? Yeah.
Yeah.
We almost lost Andrew.
No, we're getting close. I gotta.
Oh, I can taste this burning.
Yeah. So this is the round of 5.
I made a huge mistake.
I actually can't taste anything except for the spice level. It's hard to put that into words, but that is like.
I don't know if I want to risk the milk. Is it going to make it better or worse?
Milk was a bad choice.
This is the most compelling podcast we've ever done.
Just silence.
Just us kind of sweating on the mic.
Did you guys hug your mom before you guys came here?
Well,
I feel like I should have.
oh yeah.
Okay, now let's talk some strategy on this last one.
Do you want to talk us about the Grinch here? Is that?
So this one I used poblano peppers, which are relatively low heat, just to give it a lot of flavor and the green color for Christmas. And then I added pure capsaicin crystals, which are about 16 million Scovilles. Apocalypse red lava peppers, which are 2.2 million Scovilles. Carolina Reapers, and then some smoked ghost pepper just to sort of round out the flavor and give it just a little bit of a depth. Yeah.
You're a sick.
And you said, did you say
sick
you've
man,
tried this
Matt.
one before?
Yeah, well, I tried it when I made it just to make sure that the salt and everything was in line.
And how did it treat you?
I threw up.
So should we have a backup contingency bucket or something?
Yeah, maybe.
These buckets
Maybe I'll
are
run in.
cutlery and-
We got puke buckets coming.
Grab a baby killer.
Greg, are you going to go all in with the whole thing? Because I'm thinking, I'm looking at a touch.
I'm doing half.
You're doing half.
I'm doing half.
Now that's even more than
Greg,
I
you
think
are
I
made
can
of iron.
But I'm already ready to cry.
You're more machine than man.
do. I already am crying. I'm just taking
watering a little.
a little taste.
My nose is ready.
I'm leaking. Are you doing it, Jay?
I've got like a quarter of one here.
Yeah, me too.
All right.
It's got some sauce on it. You got a bucket ready.
Theoretically, this one should have gotten hotter since I tasted it, but not by a lot.
Awesome.
Just as the peppers hydrate a little bit more, they're going to release more of their capsaicin.
Are you getting any smells from it?
It kind of smells like a jalapeno popper. I'm not gonna lie. Oddly, but I could just.
That'd be mostly just the
Okay,
poblanos.
I'm gonna try this too.
You're gonna do it too. Okay.
I hate you all right now, Matt. You seem like a very nice guy, but I hate you so much.
That's an understandable. When Ryan did his, I really thought he was going to fight me.
Yeah.
Would somebody mind getting video of this? I just pressed it, so it's going.
Andrew and I sort of stood off over there, and Ryan ate the final one, which we call it's going to be a shitty Wednesday because we always film it on Tuesday nights. And Ryan's eyes just bulged out of his head, and I was like, "This light heavyweight champion of the world is about to come fight me, and I'm very scared."
Yeah, we all know what we signed up for.
We knew what. You're right. You're absolutely right. Part of the crew. I don't want to hear any more about
Part of the part of the crew, part of the ship.
Charlie threw up one time, so.
I've already thrown up once or twice.
Cheers.
Let's see it now.
Oh, good Lord, just going in. It's already burning. I can feel it out the top of my head. I don't know if I'll ever taste again.
It goes away after about an hour.
First wave was okay. But I feel it.
You think that the pain receptors would be done with this by now, but there's so much more pain that I had that I didn't know about.
New levels. New levels of pain.
I don't know if I'm in so much pain that I just don't feel it anymore, or.
Well, let's keep that puke bucket handy too.
Who's giving me the first to tap out?
All right, I'm going for the other half.
Oh, Greg, you're out of control.
You're a monster.
You're just a champ.
I kind of want to go down one level just to sort of ease up. And just peel the edge off and just eat the chicken.
Oh, that was a bad idea.
I'm doing my teeth and the gums inside my face.
I'm all right. I'm all right. How are you?
I'm okay. I don't know if I want to do more. Just
Migrating.
Just to prove my...
Has it gone down into your stomach yet?
Oh yeah.
Can you feel it
I'm very warm.
in your personal place?
I think you're having the worst time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm feeling.
I can feel it.
Describe to us.
It's just hot and sweaty.
It's been slowly moving its way forward more.
I feel better. I feel good.
Blowing my nose, I can now feel heat
Thank
in
you.
my nose.
Awesome.
And I'm afraid to touch any of these napkins because they're gonna burn my fingers.
So you guys brought extra Tums with you, right?
I didn't bring any Tums with it.
I have some at home. I think I might have to rush home.
I'm definitely gonna thumbs up when I get there.
So Matt, what's your preferred method of getting rid of the heat? You said
Simple syrup.
Simple syrup?
The shot of simple syrup and just rinse it around in your mouth, and then milk after that.
okay.
Because some of these sauces, especially when you get into using the crystals and the extracts, get really bitter. So I got to taste them 5, 6, 7 times.
Oh my God.
To be able to keep going back with a spoonful of it it's tough. So the simple syrup is sort of the best way that I've found.
Do you feel like you have a heightened level of heat temperance?
Jalapenos are still pretty hot for me most of the time.
Yeah.
Like I'm a Frank's hot wing kind of guy. Like I make this shit, so I got to be able to eat it.
Yeah, right.
Like, I can't be out here telling people that they got to eat this and
Not tasting.
not eat it myself. So I eat about a piece of the WNFA a week.
Oh boy.
Just to keep myself,
Keep yourself in check.
yeah, make sure that the guys are following my recipes and that kind of stuff too. But
Quality control.
Oh boy.
and then I make a sauce like the Grinch maybe once every 3 weeks or so, depending on how it sells. The last one we made was called Triple Double because we had a guy walk in at lunch and was like, make me the hottest thing you can in the next 5 minutes. So I fucked around and we got a Triple Double.
Do people come in and do that often? They're like, I want the hottest thing you can give me.
There's a dedicated little group of guys that come in and sort of throw me under the bus and want something real hot if I don't have it on hand. And we always have the raw ingredients, so.
Yeah. Do you make them sign a waiver or something?
No,
like
no.
that?
Waivers in Canada don't really mean anything. Like, if I hurt you with this, you can still sue me, even if you signed a waiver. Like, it's not going to hold up.
Well, get your court papers ready, because
just wait about 4.5, 5 hours.
Yeah, I'd rather not.
Yeah, I'm not excited about the. I gotta tell you that's
not so bad about it.
Really does work.
Yeah, and that's like that. The idea comes from that's how the Scoville scale was created. Was they were drinking sugar water or eating straight sugar to try to get rid of the heat. So. Yeah, in about 4 hours, your stomach's going to feel like somebody punched you 4 or 5 times.
Do you have a favorite conspiracy theory that you're a fan of
I don't know.
discussing or spreading or sharing?
I sort of believe that most things are true and that conspiracies are too hard to execute. There's too many moving parts in a conspiracy to like make most of the like super ones actually loud. Plus, having Trump in power sort of ruined most conspiracies for me because I figured he would have told everyone if any of them were true. I mean, like, I have the best aliens. Something like that, right? Like a little hint if you're ever working with hot peppers is if you wash your hands with canola oil after you're done seeding them or anything, it will move the capsaicin off your hands that soap and water won't. It's gross, but...
Is there anything you can eat after this? Like just some canola oil maybe? Or
no, not really.
That helps it,
the other funny
stomach
thing
later?
about capsaicin and chilies is capsaicin's not actually hot. It just tricks your brain into producing this reaction.
Like, you mean, for example, if someone was like trying to survive in the Arctic tundra, you couldn't like help them out by giving them a...
No. It's all. It's just a reaction in your head to what capsaicin is. Yeah. And there's some thoughts around why different peppers hit at different times and stuff for where in the world, and as a defense mechanism for birds eating the plants, that they wouldn't want the birds to fall where the plants were growing. So some peppers, like the really, really hot ones, usually take 2 to 3 minutes to really, really, really kick in. Mm-hmm. So there's some thought that that's to get the birds away from where the plant was when they ate it before they die, so they're not having rotting birds and stuff around.
Well, on heat relief, how are you guys doing? I feel like I'm okay. I'm back to normal. I'm
definitely not
soaked
normal.
in sweat.
I'm gonna feel that like 3 hour later punch in the stomach for sure.
Yeah, it's unlike anything I've ever gone through.
Yeah.
Like everybody thinks that it's going to be when you
No, it's gonna
when you
hurt.
get rid of it, but it's really that's not that bad to be honest. It's there's just cramping that happens. At least to me, that's like unlike anything I've ever gone through. Like lay on the floor, sort of whimpering, kind of cramping.
Sweet. Thank God I have tomorrow off.
Well, I'm getting these leftover beer burps that aren't helping any.
I just had a little burp and it like burned, like I could feel throat out the mouth.
Well, I would call this a success.
Yeah, we did it. That is phenomenal.
Oh man, thanks a lot, Matt. That was amazing.
I'm glad you guys enjoyed.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't that a super good time? I'm glad we're on this journey of friendship together. Special moments with special people is what makes a smile in your heart, and it's really nice when things are nice. You can listen to all of our episodes on it'saconspiracypodcast.com, along with our social medias and links to our Patreon page, patreon.com/it'saconspiracy, and merch at oldmandesign.com. I'll get you sorted. Aww. We'll be back with episode 7 on December 1st, our Hanukkah special with Paula on December 12th, and our next installment of It's a Cinemaspiracy on December 19th. Thanks for stopping by, and please do take care. Bye. 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 All right, there we go.
Bye.